All right, welcome everybody to the Mentor Mesh Town Hall again. Last month was pretty successful, so we're excited to do this one again this month. So we got a lot of cool things going on in the community, a lot of cool wins you get to hear about for February, and they're still coming. We heard some more today, so we look forward to that. But thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. We're gonna once again kind of explain the Mentor Mesh community a little bit. Jay's gonna help us with that, and then go through our February reviews and what we got going on at Mentor Mesh and the Accelerator. We have some career wins we're going to talk about, and then we'll talk about our accelerator wins also. So strap in a little bit. We got a lot of good information. Jay's got some good information for us. And to start off, you do, Jay. I've seen it. So, but yeah, to start off, we'll have Jay talk about our February Mentor Mesh Explained and our review.
All right. So, not that numbers are everything, but we did get about 400 new members in February. So January, we had a similar number of people. The community has been growing pretty quickly, and a lot of it is because of the Twitter Spaces and the live events that we're doing. It's interesting is that Mentor Mesh is a platform. It's not the platform, right? It's the people, it's the community, it's the connections that you make. That's what Mentor Mesh is. So we live on Twitter, we live on LinkedIn, we're on mentormesh.io, maybe we'll be on Clubhouse, but it's really about the people in the community. And what's interesting is that when you think about those other platforms that I just mentioned, Twitter is a news feed and LinkedIn is your online resume. However, both of them have very powerful communities, but it's really hard to get plugged in. Like, how do you meet people on those platforms? How do you meet people with the similar career ambitions that you have? And that's part of the problem that Mentor Mesh is trying to solve. I believe that we all, most of us, everyone here definitely, but most people are on their career journey somewhere. And it's a very lonely journey, but I don't think it needs to be lonely. We're all looking to level up. We're all agonizing through interviews. We're all trying to make decisions and we don't know, should I go right? Should I go left? But there's so much power in community and hearing other people's stories, because just by hearing what's possible, it can change your viewpoint and make you think a little bit differently. I've definitely had that in my career for sure. And I've heard many, many stories, I think, since I've started Mentor Mesh. So we're just under about 3,500 members today. And so we're here to support each other. Now, one thing that I'm really starting to push lately is events, especially like next week. I'm going to talk a few, like there's literally going to be an event every day. Now, I know that everyone can't attend every single one, so they're all going to be recorded. You can catch up anytime you need to. But I think that the learning journey, you guys have heard me talk about being a lifelong learner, because this is not about getting your next job. This is about career growth. In my opinion, I think we should grow as fast as we can. And part of that is because I don't trust the world we live in. There's no such thing as stability. We're just ramping down from a pandemic and we've already got our next world crisis lined up. And what does that do to the economy? What does that do to people's lives and where we are in life, right? So for me, it's not about trying to have a 20, 30, 40-year career at a comfortable company. It's about trying to achieve financial independence and having a network of people that can support you during the negative times. There will be times where you may get laid off. There will be times where work is hard to find. Are you going to be okay? Do you have a community of people that are going to support you during those times? So Mentor Mesh is the community that I wish I had during my career. And honestly, a lot of the conversations that you have by attending a Twitter space and listening to things that people say, some of those things might hit you in a way that will alter your career and impact the rest of your life. It literally can work that way. One conversation, one comment can make you think differently. So you're going to see a lot of events. So if you can, try to participate, try to come in, stretch, do something a little different and engage with the community if you can. Mentormesh.io is less scary than LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is like the polished formal resume of the world. So I totally understand why people hesitate there. But mentormesh.io, it's super easy, right? Everybody there, it's a curated group of people that said, I want to level up and I want to help other people level up. So those people, the people in MentorMesh, are here to support you. So don't be afraid to reach out, stretch out, and get to know people in the community. But you have to build relationships. One of the things that we'll talk about, like, especially when you're trying to build a personal brand, right? The reason you build a personal brand is because you want to be seen by people. Some people have a tendency to over-index on qualifications because they think that's the reason why they're not getting a job, when the reality is nobody knows who you are. That's your problem. Nobody is physically seeing your resume. That is the problem. But if you want people to participate and engage with you, and when you post, if you want people to rally around you, you need to rally around them first. You want people to engage with your posts, you got to engage with their posts first, because you'd be surprised. Like when you do that, people notice. They read your comments, they notice, and next time when you post, they will support you. The reason we're doing that is visibility, because, you know, there are, I promise you, thousands and thousands of jobs and opportunities out there, and hiring managers are struggling to find you. They are. So make it a little bit easier for them. Care about your LinkedIn profile, build community, build relationships. There are so many jobs out there that are not posted that people would love to find you and give you, but you have to be found. You have to be findable. So for people that are new into the community, if you've never been to a town hall, you've never been to an event before, I'd encourage you to just post on mentormesh.io. Introduce yourself. The people that respond typically are the ones that are active in the community. Get to know them, try to reach out, have coffee chats. Do your best to build those relationships, because as you do that, they will connect you to other people. You'll start to see who the champions of MentorMesh are, and they're going to be the ones that are going to help you the most. And then we're going to encourage the community to grow that way, because what we want is the actual support, not just a platform where people just post, but where people genuinely are trying to help each other. And you're only going to get that by being active and connecting. And this is just one of the ways to hear from the community and what's happening, so you can be a part of it. And for those people that are more active, I'm looking for you. We're looking for you. So we'll give you more rights on the platform, give you more opportunities to post, more opportunities to jump on stage, to also be noticed, and continuing to build your brand. Like you need to do that. If you want to be in demand and employers to come find you, you need to build a brand, and it's not as scary as it sounds. It's actually very, very simple. It's about consistency and authenticity. Anyone can do it. You don't even have to be an expert at all in anything, and you can still build a powerful brand just by being somebody that shares. So real quick, just a recap for February. So we've had a lot of stuff happen in February. So we've been doing community story time every week. It's been on Monday and then Wednesday. Amber and Sayer have been graciously helping with that. And that really is a community space. I'm hoping that more people will come and just talk and share. Again, it's about being noticed. Just introduce yourself. You don't have to say anything crazy. Just come in and talk about your struggle, talk about your journey. Because what you'll have, and what's happened at every single meeting, someone in the community will offer to help you. They'll offer a coffee chat. And sometimes that conversation can be really impactful for you. So take those opportunities. So we've been doing that every week. It's going to be continuing to be every Wednesday. Also on Tuesday, I'm actually going to be doing a special AMA with somebody I used to work with. His name is Niku. He is a senior PM at Microsoft. Him and I used to work together at Expedia. He was a developer that became a PM that was from the military. So he's retired from the military, joined, he was kind of, I think he was like an SRE kind of site reliability engineering type role for Expedia. He helped with our incidents and site reliability stuff. And then he went on to become a developer, and then he became a product manager at Microsoft. So super cool guy, non-traditional background. He's out there killing it. Really super helpful guy. So if you can make that one Tuesday, I think I already put the invite out there. Try to tune in and at least catch the recording if you can't. Super smart guy. We have also been chatting with Linda. Linda's here. And we've been talking about doing a security event on Thursday. So I don't want to put you on the spot, Linda, so you don't have to say anything, but I know we're talking about it. But just FYI for the group that it'll probably happen on Thursday. Gary, it'd be super cool if you could help with that. That'd be awesome.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Gary works in security for Disney. And then we've got a couple of IBM security folks, Linda being one of them, that want to do something around that, which I think is awesome, right? So that's the thing. Like, there's people in this community that have amazing knowledge. Like, let's just stand up and practice and do it. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, so we want to talk about security and bring in people who have an interest in getting into security, people who are in security, who are looking for a network of people. Come one, come all.
Yeah. And it's one of those disciplines where even if you're not in security, you're going to have to understand it, because whatever products you're building, whether it's a software or product manager, you will have to understand and go through that process and care about compliance. It's a big part of building anything. So that's coming up. Also Tuesdays, Brennan does Twitter Spaces for product leaders. So if you're interested in product, he's got a super diverse panel of people, product leaders from all kinds of different companies. That happens every week. So come in and tune into that if you can. On Saturdays, Christine is doing the Eloquent JavaScript book club. So if you're a software engineer, you want to get a little bit better at front-end development and JavaScript in general. I guess that's more than just front-end, it's back-end too. That's a great thing to join as well. So what we're going to try to do, the reason I want to do a lot more live and in-person events is because I found, since I've started MentorMesh a while back, that's where a lot of the engagements and relationship building really happen, you know? So if you can, try to make it work. I'm also going to try to vary some of the times and try to do some morning PST times, because I know we've got folks in the UK and other time zones that have wanted to join, but we don't have as many in their time zone, you know, for people like Anna as well. So she doesn't have to attend at midnight. Maybe it'll be better for her. So that kind of stuff is coming up too. And if you guys have ideas, right? If there's a topic that you would love or you wish that we would talk about, you know, talk to me, talk to Bronze, talk to anyone in the community. And my challenge to you is, can you coordinate something? Because we can definitely rally around you and help with the marketing so people actually will know about it and attend. But this is your community. So whatever you think people would benefit from, what you would benefit from, don't be afraid to raise your hand and make a suggestion. And then I'm going to pass it to Eleni, who's going to talk about a couple of other things that are happening.
Hey everyone, thanks Jay. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about a few programs I've been hosting and co-hosting today. So last month we talked a bit about the Accelerator Book Club that we kicked off. We've been continuing to read From Fraud to Freedom by Phyllis Giroux. And this book is about imposter experience, which we learned is the maybe more apt term than syndrome from reading it. Many of our book club members have experienced tremendous personal and professional growth. And I'd like to invite someone I've enjoyed seeing and hearing from each week, Candice Benuyo, to share about how the book club has impacted her. Welcome to the stage, Candice. Please let us know how it's been going.
Thank you, Eleni. I have, truly enjoyed being part of the book club. We meet once a week on Mondays, and I think one of there are a couple of aspects that I like. One is, as Jay was talking about in the beginning, the relationships that I get to build with, many of the other participants in the book club. Sharing all of our stories as we read the book and some of the parts that resonated with us. The other cool part is that Phyllis, the author of the book, sometimes or most of the time does join us for the book club meetings. So it's great to get her perspective and kind of dig deeper on some of the topics that that come up. And so yeah, it's been definitely stretching me out as someone, who, is trying to overcome constantly imposter syndrome or experience. And it affects sort of the other parts of the challenges that we have, like reaching out to people. One of the things that I've been doing at work is reaching out to people internally, and that's been great, because I've been at my current position for about 4 months now, and it's really been helpful to connect with people internally to learn more about the company as a whole. And then the other part too, to the book club, is to the book itself, is that at the end of each chapter, Phyllis has what she calls fraud fixes. And they're basically really practical tips on how to overcome whatever was discussed in that chapter. And so one of the things that I'll mention, two things that I have found helpful. One of them is the journaling. I think in the book she says it's, journaling gives your negative thoughts a place to stay or go. That's not the exact quote, but it sounds better than that. But basically, your negative thoughts need somewhere to go, and journaling is, a great place for them to go. So I have been, pretty consistent with journaling and doing that. So and there was some reframing that had to go into that, because I always felt like journaling had to be some long, drawn out 10-page thing that you had to do. But in hearing Phyllis talk about it, she mentioned a bullet, a sentence, 2 sentences, that also counts. So that has been helpful. And then one other fraud fix is just sharing with others. So whether it's within Mentor Mesh or your friends and family. I think that's something I've been doing more of lately, is leaning on my friends to just share what I go through at work, or just in general, so that you kind of get that support that you need. And so I think overall it's been great. I look forward to, I think we have a couple of some more chapters coming up, and so I'm looking forward to talking with the rest of the group and getting more tips. And the other thing too is that there's no pressure. Like, if you didn't read the chapter that week, you can just come and talk. I think the last one we did, we didn't really talk about the book. We kind of just talked about whatever, our dogs and cats. And so it's just a great opportunity to really build relationships, is what I am really getting out of it, in addition to getting tips on how to overcome your imposter syndrome. So yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Thanks so much for sharing, Candace. Me and Candace, I believe, became acquainted on a Twitter space in December. And I think it's just been really cool. At least, everyone's been getting to know you, Candace, because you come regularly, but I have really loved the opportunity to get to know you better through these conversations. And like, the topic of imposter syndrome / experience is just extremely relatable for all. So thanks for showing up and making the meetings, more valuable. And I'm looking forward to continuing to read together and finish this book for sure, and to go on to the next one. So we'll have a couple more weeks of From Fraud to Freedom, and then we'll be voting on the next reading. So yay. All right, thank you again, Candace. So I'm going to talk a bit about the design challenge. Nina, Lisitsa, and I have been hosting a 6-week design challenge since January. So last week, we finally led a cohort to complete it. Together, we designed through, I should say, a design cycle and the design thinking process. Our challenge featured different tasks each week. But what I really want to spotlight today is that we had 4 guest mentors who were super wonderful. In week 5, we had a feedback session, which featured Mentor Mesh's Will Reagan. I'm not sure if Will's here, but it was really awesome having Will come and mentor us. All the participants really loved the chance to interact with mentors. And we also had a design research mentor, Chris Tang, who I don't believe is in the community, but she's a design researcher who volunteered to support the participants in week 5. And Nina met her at a salsa class in New York many, many years ago. So the theme kind of the guest mentors is leveraging connections, right? So during our showcase last weekend, which was kind of the capstone of the design challenge, we had 2 guest mentors from Nintendo, which was super exciting. We invited Jordan Horton, who's the digital experience manager, voice of the consumer. And he's Jay's friend, but he's someone that I had the chance to meet at an exclusive networking event I was able to participate in from the Champions Challenge last fall. So everybody, keep up the engagement. You never know how it'll pay off. What was really cool is Jordan, at least for me, I'm trying to get into UX design. So his role is like kind of adjacent, but not quite 100% UX. But he actually proposed inviting his colleague, Andrew Elthon, who's the principal UX designer at Nintendo, and they both gave really wonderful feedback about their storytelling, to the presenters about their storytelling, their solutions, and their UI. And it was just a really cool chance to grow our networks, and it was a great chance for Nina and I to just leverage and build new connections. So I just wanted to highlight that you never really know, how you'll be able to use the connections you're making now, even in this call. I'd like to pass it over to my co-host Nina to spotlight our design challenge presenters, who were just so awesome and brave last weekend, getting so much professional feedback while we're all kind of, learning in progress. So take it away, Nina.
Hi, yes, thank you, Eleni. First, I just want to say thank you and congrats to all the participants that were able to make it every week to the design challenge. And yes, we would like to highlight the 3 participants that have completed the design challenge. Andrea William, she built a Hard Earth app, which fosters connections with the earth without the politics of climate change. Also, Donaldi Salvant, who built Durafas, an app to improve safety for bikers on the road through live alerts. This feature could be used by bikers and service drivers. And lastly, but certainly not least, Moses Adekoje, who built a travel budget app, which was one of our available prompts. And he designed it as a mobile app as well as a desktop website. So thank you again, and congrats to the 3 participants that were able to complete the design challenge. It was such a treat to see it all come together. And as you know, for everyone that was part of the design challenge, we definitely learned a lot.
Awesome. Do you think we're going to see another design challenge? I put you on the spot there. I didn't ask you that before, but
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. We're just working out the logistics.
For
Oh,
sure.
wow.
We want to offer all kinds of different UX things. And I just wanted to highlight too, just about showing up and attending people's events, that it really, really meant a lot to Nina to foster this opportunity for people to learn and have people show up. And I'm not just talking about the participants who completed, but anybody who just gave it a stab, or the guest mentors who came, or Amber and Chintan, you were super awesome coming and supporting the presenters last weekend. And even T, I don't know if you're here, but showed up and just taking the chance to learn and foster deeper discussions. And I think Khaled's here too. And Khaled was our design challenge PM. So just some shout outs that it just means a lot to show up. Yeah. So I'll give it back to Jay. Thanks so much.
I'll take it from Jay.
Thank you.
Real quick though, I just want to say, it's interesting, and I've mentioned this before, but I really think it's important. When people show up during the community and the way that we support each other, this is an opportunity to show who you are, right? Everybody, there are so many people that are part of MentorMesh. Remember, 3,500 people. Many of those people, all of those people are incredible contacts and people worth knowing, right? They're people that you should build relationships with. And indirectly, they are people that could change your life. They're people that work for some of the top companies in the world. They work for startups. They work for all over. A lot of us want opportunities. And your opportunity easily could be right here with these people. But if you show up for these community events, you support each other, people get to see a little bit about you. The way you show up in this community also demonstrates what you would be like to work with. Actually, even more so, right? Because all of us are here because we want to be here, not because we're forced to, because it's our job. But if you're able to show up consistently and you support people here, I think the assumption would be you would be a fantastic person to work with. And so when it comes to those opportunities, people will naturally start to think about you. You know, so-and-so I used to work with on the design challenge. I bet you I heard about this design opportunity. I wonder if she's interested. That type of stuff will organically always happen. Because especially when it comes to hiring, the first thing that most hiring managers do is think about who they know. And you don't even have to be a hiring manager. If you're a designer on a team, you know about the open positions. And is the hiring manager going to take some advice and recommendation from you? Absolutely, right? So even the way you show up and present yourself and be a leader in Mentor Mesh, people are watching. So sometimes when you look at these platforms, like even LinkedIn, right? Like 800 million people on LinkedIn, but only 1% of those people actually engage on the platform. But guess what? I don't even know what the actual percentage is. I probably need to find out. But a lot of people, most people are just watching. So they see you. They see what you're doing. They see your character. And that's the same thing with Mentor Mesh. On like our Mentor Mesh stats, like we have like 3,500 people, but there's like 1,000 people, 600-700 people that are regularly on the platform looking, and they're watching and they're seeing you, right? And they're coming to the events. Some of them are coming, right? Like this is an opportunity for you to have other people see your character, your consistency, your grit, right? Your empathy. So take it as an opportunity to show that. I just want to throw that out there because I tell you, like, I can pinpoint specific conversations with individuals that have made a material impact on my career just by noticing me, right? And this is an opportunity to do that in a much safer space than maybe a big platform like LinkedIn, right? So I really appreciate when people step up and they show consistency. You know, like even like a lot of people will ask me for mentorship. They'll say, Jay, will you mentor me? And the first thing I tell everyone is like, why don't you contribute to the community? Give something first, right? Give something. And if you give first, you never even have to ask me for mentorship. I will come get you. I will come get you and I will give you and I will connect you, because that's what I'm looking for, is for people that are like that. And it's not just me. A lot of people on the platform are looking for opportunities to up-level people. So thank you for kind of plus-oneing that, Eleni, but absolutely, like the engagement matters. One engagement, you attending one meeting can be a really big deal. It really can.
Yeah, awesome. And thanks, Eleni and Mina, for handling that design challenge too. And everybody who participated, that's really cool. It's kind of what Mentor Mesh is about, what Jay was talking about. So showing up, participating, you got an idea, we'll try to throw it out there and see how we can facilitate it for you. And speaking of that, I saw Amanda's hand up a little bit. I'm putting her on the spot too. She'll have a chance to talk a little bit more, but she has a group that she started to be active a little more. I don't know too much about it, but did you want to say something briefly about that, Amanda?
Yeah, so it's just at the beginning about my intent with the group is to be a little bit more active, whatever level you are. If you don't do anything, just get up once a day and touch your toes, or a couple of jumping jacks. It's a little bit more active. If you do 20 push-ups, do 21. So I learned that through life, that a lot of us in the tech industry just sit on our tushy all day, and it really creates some, after 10, 20, 30 years of that, it creates some health issues. So, I just kind of want people to be in a group, say, hey, I'm at this level, I did a little bit extra. And probably like once a month, I'm going to have like a meeting and kind of gather. So it's a community, find people to work out with each other. If you want to be held accountable, if you have ideas like, hey, there's a run in here or a hike here, post it in there. It's just be a little bit more active. And it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I'm going to go out there and do a lot of things, just a little. That's basically it. And I'm still figuring out how to work the group. So it's called Be Active a Little More. It's in our mentor website. And I don't know, I was going to invite people, but I don't know. I guess there's no way outside of knowing the people's emails. So just please find that.
Yeah, we'll help.
can-
We'll help you out too. Promote that a little bit. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about physically active. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah, no,
nice.
it's physically active. It's physical active.
Yeah. Well, no, we need that for
It's
sure.
like, hey, doing your jumping jacks.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's cool.
You
Okay.
need it. You really do.
I do. Yes, thank you. But you don't have to point me out in front of everybody. But
Yeah,
yes.
you do. I wasn't gonna. I was just
All
gonna
of
put
us
you in the
do.
group. I wasn't even gonna give you a choice.
Yeah, if you guys can join it, that'd be great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks for telling us about that, man. I appreciate it. So some of you have joined the J Show, so we'll talk about that a little bit next. Jay will let us know what's going on in the J Show.
Yeah, so I've been trying to post at least about 3 times a week. A lot of the reason what I'm trying to do is it's kind of turning into more of a video series as to my personal journey. So for people that are kind of interested in what I'm doing, I like to think that my next move will be my biggest move of my career. And I'm trying to be incredibly intentional about how I do it. And I can't wait because I'm at a point where I'm almost able to share a lot more. And I want to backtrack about how this stuff happened, because I tell you, like, by fostering relationships, caring about people, you can build the connections that you want, and you can make the job that you want, and I'm in this place where I am literally defining my next job. It does not exist. I am writing it, and I will be paid to do exactly what I want to do. And it wasn't by accident. It wasn't. And so part of what I'm trying to share is how I got there, and some of the choices that I made, intentional decisions that I'm making, and even some of the struggles. I mean, you know, some of you have seen, like, at one of the AMAs I did, I was having a bad day. I felt like a therapy session. People had to make me feel better, but that is how it is sometimes. Like, it's not every day you're on a high, and every day, no, some days are not good. Some days are can be pretty tough. But one of the big reasons I'm sharing it is because not enough people do. Even me, right? Like, I can share with you how I got to the level that I am, but I can't tell you how to get beyond where I've been. I know people that are, much higher level than me, but even me, getting them to give me any real advice or time or consideration, it's like pulling teeth. Like, people just don't, they're too busy. It's not a negative thing, like they don't care. It's just, they don't prioritize it, which is why, for me, like, as I progress in my career, I want to be super transparent about what I did, how I did it, so that people that want to come up where I am understand at least one perspective, right? You're not in the dark. Like, even small things like sharing compensation. A lot of people are underpaid simply because they don't understand what they can make, because they didn't ask and they didn't know, because it's not public. Nobody talks about it, right? And then once they realize, what, you could have probably asked for double. But you know what, employers, they're okay with getting you for a discount. They're not going to complain. They're not going to give you, they're not going to tell you that. So, which makes sense financially for them. You understand why they wouldn't tell everybody the max, because then, it would mess with them, right? But anyway, I think it's important to share, so that it's not just about celebrating the wins. It's about describing and sharing the journey, because people could get inspired, they could get motivated, they could try different things. Everybody's journey is different, but there's something you can learn from everyone's journey. So I like the idea of building in public. I like the idea of being super transparent. So if my specific journey interests you, then I'd love for you to join J Show. It's a little selfish. I like to talk too, so I'll warn you right now. But it's interesting because one thing I'll bring out just specifically about my career: when you build good relationships and a track record of execution, and people trust you, you can do any position you want, any position, period. Now, it sounds weird, right? Like, you'd think that I'd need to specialize in a domain in order to do that job. And it's just not true. Not in tech. Maybe in other industries that move a little bit slower, but not in tech. In tech, everything changes so fast, you cannot be a domain expert every time. You cannot, which means it's it can be, if you do the right thing, easy to pivot. Because I kind of went up the rank from a very technical place. And arguably, I don't consider myself very technical, but I was able to do well there by building relationships, right? And at the top of that pinnacle, when you are already a senior product leader, you can lead any product in a different category. Doesn't matter, because people will start to say, okay, if he can lead this product, he can probably lead another product, because a lot of the fundamentals are transferable, right? So even though my entire career is in platform engineering and background engineering and all that, I am still of the opinion, if you do it right, I can lead any product. And they will hire me to lead any product. And that's been my experience, right? If you prove yourself as a leader in the industry, especially in a category like product management, people will let you lead any product. It's not about spending years and years getting the domain expertise. 90% of what you need to be effective in that job, you will learn after you get the job. You just need to get the job. You get the job by building relationships, building trust, building in public. If you're willing, building a personal brand. That's how you're found, right? These are all things that I do that, especially in the last few years of my career, have made a tremendous impact. I literally tripled my income in the last 3 years, doubled it in the last 18 months. Like, this is like, and it's not going to be any different, right? And I want to be able to share what that is, because I think by sharing that, I want everyone to understand that when you get into tech, or if you're in tech and you hit 200K and you hit 300K, it doesn't stop there. The opportunities for you do not stop there. Even the majority of tech professionals will stop there because they feel like, well, I'm doing good. And you're right. You are doing good. You're doing great. But again, this is about freedom and control and early retirement. That's when you really get to do whatever you want to do. Retire when you're 35 and really do whatever you want to do. Retire when you're 45 and do whatever you want to do. Then to me, that's where I think people need to reach to. It's not about that comfortable career. So these are just, my opinions, my journey. If that sounds interesting to you, I'd love for you to join the J Show. It also helps support the community. I've got bills in the community I need to pay. So it'd be nice not to have to pay those by myself. So Linda, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, to piggyback on what you were saying at the beginning about building relationships. So night before last, before I went to bed, I checked my email and there was an introduction email there where a friend of mine who owns her own company was introducing me to someone who was hiring for a position. And I kind of felt like she was pimping me out. She was singing my praises so high. I was like, oh my gosh. But I, responded to the email and I had the interview today. And it's for a startup that had a Series B of $250 million fundraising, I think last quarter last year, for a $2 billion valuation. They're doing pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
That's very cool.
Because they're giving out stock. We'll see what happens.
That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we should have put you in the next section. We have these career wins.
Yeah. So let me real quick before Bronze cuts me off. I see you ramping up to cut me off. Hold up. Give me a minute.
That's my job.
So the accelerator program. So a lot of you are part of it. Some of you are not. So if you don't know how to build your personal brand, if you don't know how to build in public, come build with us. So the accelerator is a paid program. It's $30 a month with the discount. So contact me if you're interested in joining us. But that's what we're doing. We do weekly challenges. We go out there. We help each other level up in our careers. We're posting out there. We're building our brands. We're fixing our resumes. We're fixing our profiles. We're going to go out there and be noticed. We're going to be seen, and we're going to support each other while we do it. Because half of the anxiety is that you throw this post out there and you start thinking nobody's going to like it. Well, you know what? We'll like it. So #MentorMesh, the community will see it. Come join the program if it's something that you're interested in. You feel like you need a little bit more guidance and support. It's been great. Like, I've got to know many, many people on this call because of this. And I'm going to continue to make steps so that this program becomes more as affordable and almost free. Like I've got some things in the plan that I would love for employers to basically pay for this. Because for me, unfortunately, we do use tools I have to pay for. I'm paying Slack like thousands of dollars every month to use this platform, which is painful, but there's a little bit of a cost. But if you just want to just come join the community, join the accelerator. And this is what we're going to talk about next, because one of the big things, again, networking, connections, so important, right? We have these challenges, we have winners. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I'm going to do my best to help connect these winners to as many people as I can, because by being in the accelerator, you're showing a level of commitment, right? A lot of people are like, oh, maybe I can't afford it. Maybe not. But if you can Netflix and chill and you have a Disney Plus account and you've got a Prime, okay, then you need to prioritize what's important in your life, right? Do you want to level up or do you want to watch movies all day? That's up to you, right? So I would argue that a lot of people can. And if you can't, what I would say is show up in the community. I'll happily invite you for free if I think I will pay for you if I feel like you will put the work in, okay? That's the important part. You have to show up. So money is not an excuse. If you can't afford it, show up in the community. I will find you and come pull you in. So, but think about it. This is, again, every offer that I've had, all these big tech companies, I didn't apply for any of those jobs. This is how I did it. You got to know people. You got to connect with people. So I'll hand it back over to Bronze, and he can talk about the next section about our accelerator winners for this month.
All right. If I'm okay to talk. I always got to mess with you. Somebody's got to mess with Jay. So I feel like I need to be the one to mess with Jay. So, sometimes I get in trouble for it. But yeah, the accelerator has been going awesome lately. We've had some cool wins and career-wise. But next, we'll just talk about the accelerator winners for the month of February. And just before, and after that, we'll have some career wins also, just to kind of explain what's going on next. And then if you guys would like to talk about something too, we'll call on you to do that. But we look for things in the accelerator like consistency, the people that show up consistently, do the challenges, do their status updates, and they do that weekly and monthly. It's noticed, it's recorded. Those who are collaborating with others, they're active in the community, they demonstrate what they're doing, they help others, they promote others, and those that are growing. So those maybe had some minor growths. We really look at those little things, mental growth, that type of thing that help towards your career, but also, maybe growing in your social media following or something like that. We'll look at those things. Those are direct results of your networking and working towards your personal brand. So for the month of February, our peer winner, the one that was chosen, was, fake drum roll, Ebony Johnson. So we'll give her a round of applause for that one. I think that was kind of obvious. We all saw that one coming. So she's been killing it lately. We'll have her talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And then our staff winner, we had two. We couldn't choose. So the first one was Michael Barnes. He's been doing a lot, helping out, posting, sharing, promoting. He sees things on LinkedIn or jobs or whatnot. He puts it out there to help others. And then we also have Colleen Tully. So I'm sure that wasn't a surprise to anyone either. So nice job, everyone. A round of applause. We the prize package is kind of mobile. So Jay will get with you guys. He already has kind of connected with you guys. So on what you'll receive for winning for that month and how he can help promote you in one way or the other. We had a couple honorable mentions also. So Ahmad Hassan, Brenna Gold, Stephanie Wang, and Brian Cassidy. So ones your peers picked you, some that we noticed, but you're noticed in the community. So nice job, everyone. Keep up the good work. Keep helping everybody. It's the people that are winning in those challenges and winning in their careers that really help the community. So we appreciate all of that, and that's why we like to make sure that they're noticed. We've had some cool career wins lately too, and we just like to reiterate too that getting a job is the ultimate goal, or getting money. I mean, I wish I could get paid $5 million a year right now and I'd win. I don't know if you guys see me again, but a lot of it is the small wins. The small wins lead to those big wins. So if you can share those with us, please do. the mental transition, like now I look at myself differently, or I just posted for the first time. All that kind of stuff really is what ramps you up. I am a product of that. So Jay and others, I listened to an AMA or something, and it helped, it boost my confidence in speaking, or make you feel like you're actually worth something in your space. So all those little things let us know. So first though, we'll talk about we'll have the accelerator winners speak if they want to. So Michael Barnes isn't here, but he says hello to everybody. So, but we'd like to call on Colleen Tully if you'd like to say anything about your accelerator win. No pressure. You can just shake your head like this, and I'll just move on. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I have a snoring dog next to me. So if that comes in on the mic, then you'll know what the background noise is. But yeah, this has been such a fun experience for me. And I think so much of the joy that's come forth from being a part of Mentor Mesh and then the accelerator specifically has just been developing virtual friendships. Most of everybody here I haven't actually met in person. And it's just awesome to get text messages throughout the day, reaching out about not just job opportunities or different things that I'm going through, but also just caring for me as a person. So I think that there's a lot more depth to Mentor Mesh than what meets the eye. And so knowing that this is as much a career journey as it is, how are we doing as people and building each other up? And so, yeah, it's thrilling. I think that there's some excitement about being able to post and have confidence in posting on LinkedIn and Twitter. And an example of that is I've experienced a specific pain point, and I wrote about it yesterday on LinkedIn. And it's by far the thing that's resonated the most with the LinkedIn community. And there's been so much excitement, not just on people not feeling as though they're alone in this pain point specifically, but also being able to see how we can build a solution and seeing what's already out there that people have created. So yeah, testing the waters and just kind of being vulnerable, throwing ideas out there into the LinkedIn universe. People respond. It's incredibly encouraging. And also on a career note, I made it through my second round interview at Instacart today, and my the hiring manager who I spoke with right after the call said, "Hey, I want to invite you to the third round." So it's 3 of 4, so still got halfway to go, but it's fun to have this be my first tech interview experience. And so much of it is, I mean, this has been 2 months of being a part of Accelerator, and there's just been stellar growth. So yeah, I'm excited to be a part of this community, and yeah, thank you for the recognition.
Yeah, awesome. That's all you. So nice job. We appreciate you having you in the accelerator. I was curious about your interviews. I heard about them, so that's cool too. So yeah, awesome. Congratulations on that. And remember, you made it to the interview, so you're already winning, right? So you learn a lot going through that process. It's awesome. Next, we have and Jay, chime in anytime if you want to. I'll give you permission to do that if you want. So next, we have our one of our accelerator winners, and I'm telling you, the ladies are holding it down in the accelerator. So that's been awesome lately. So next, we have Ebony Johnson, though. So if you want to talk about your accelerator win, also, but we might be a little bit more wanting to hear about your career win too. So if you want to speak on those.
I tell you, y'all might not believe me, but every time I come out the mic, I'm always like, oh, heart's fluttering, I gotta talk.
That just means you care. So we appreciate it.
I do. And then I get all teary-eyed and like, oh Lord. Because I do get like emotional about it, because I'm super proud of myself, and I'm super proud of like all the stuff I see these people doing. So I joined Mentor Mesh on December 10th. I went back in my email and I double checked, because I've just been kind of throwing out there. It's been 90 to 120 days. I didn't know. But I found that it was December 10th. And in this time frame, I've been following instructions, listening to the cheat codes, and doing what was asked of me because I saw somebody, I saw Jay, I saw you saying, I don't have a college degree and look how far I've made it. And that's me. Like, I can't check that box for a bachelor's degree and never felt like I could be somebody who makes $100,000. Like, that wasn't a part of my story. No one in my family makes that. People in this community, like after joining, got on calls with me and enlightened me so much to what's out there and what's possible. Encouraged me to just call myself a product manager, like command the title because I'm basically doing the work. I started applying to jobs. I figured out how to get attention from recruiters. I got them to call me in for interviews even without applying. And I'm so excited because on Monday, I got my first job offer in hand. And I finally have crossed $100,000. And I had another final interview on Friday. I have a third one coming up on Tuesday. And so I'll make my decision out of those. But I'm just so thankful for everybody here because without y'all doing things like mock interviews with me and paying attention to my little posts, you know, on the few that I make on LinkedIn, because I feel like I still got to be incognito, you know, I don't want my company to know that I'm doing all of this. The things that, but like all of that matters. I feel like I've also become, I've not become, I think it's always been in me to be a mentor, but this community has given me even more practice at being a mentor. Like people reach out to me and like, hey, Ebony, how do you do this? And I am so excited to be able to share what I've learned to get other people further. The job offer that I just got an offer for on Monday, a girl reached out to me on LinkedIn and was like, hey, I applied for an APM role to that same company a few months ago, but I haven't heard back. I was like, girl, give me your email address. I sent her an email, carbon copied the recruiter and was like, hey, you need to talk to her. He called her the next morning. She is now in that process. Like even people in this group, I got a recruiter reach out to me. I was like, hey, I haven't even started the interview process yet. I'm gonna unselfishly send you my friend's information too, because I may not be the best fit, but she's probably even better than me. Like, I feel like people in this community have brought me up and I am like, I feel like I'm making it and I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep on reaching back and bringing people behind me. Even, you know, one of my posts on LinkedIn got the attention of the VP of product at Twitch. I didn't even know what Twitch was. I just knew she sounded like somebody to know. And somebody like Michael Barnes wants to be a gaming product manager. Like, I feel like my mission is to make friends with this lady so I can name drop him one day. Like, so I want to start there. I'm very thankful. I'm happy. Thankful for all of y'all that recognize that I'm really trying, and just I want to encourage y'all to keep doing it. So.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, you hear her thinking process, everyone. That's where it's at. So, but you internalize that, Ebony. That's you. You doing it. So we appreciate you here. So stuff that Jay talks about is what Ebony's doing, and it works. So yeah, that's really awesome to hear. And you should be emotional too. That's awesome. Now you got to take your family out to lunch because you're the only one that makes take them out to dinner, right? So yeah, very nice job. We appreciate it. Thank you. That's very cool.
Yeah, Ebony, I'm right there with you. Like nobody in my family makes like good money. I didn't have any friends that did, you know. And it's interesting because even as your career journey starts, I promise you that in the next 2 years at least, you're going to double. Like if you, because Like making 100,000, 150,000, that's the beginning of big tech. You're getting offers from Fortune 500 companies. You will double. And isn't it strange, right? Like most of us are grown up to think that $100,000 is a lot of money and that we will never make it there. Not only can you make it there, you can destroy that number. You can change your life, right? And it's not about money, right? This is about freedom. This is about choices. And I just love to see so much growth. And I really love that you're thinking about bringing people up behind you, because that is what this is about. Like it really is. If you know people and they trust you, you can change other people's lives very easily just by doing what you just did. Just connect them. Because remember, everybody else is going through the system. That recruiter will never see that other person's resume to even officially rejected. They're automatically rejected. Most of us are, right? But you just being willing to hand that off, I mean, that's everything. And that changes lives too. But thank you for that.
Yeah, that's great. We appreciate that. So whoever's got to speak next, try to top that. Nice job, everyone. I mean, that's awesome, Ebony. That's cool for me to hear. It was encouraging. So we have some more career wins. We'll go through some more. We have another confirmed one is Wayne Holt. If I believe he's here. If you would like to speak on what did you got going on?
Hey, how's it going? I'm here. I just had to walk outside the birthday party real quick. So yeah, for me, so I kind of started in the beginning. So I used to work in the government. I've been there for about 12 years and it just got to a real bad place. So I had to make a decision. So I sought help. I basically started talking to a therapist and they gave me 3 options. You know, he basically said I could either stay at the job, take a pause, or leave. So I decided to take a pause. And when I took that pause is when I ran into Mentor Mesh. And then I was a part of the IO, just the community. I started to see Accelerator. And then I was like, what is this Accelerator? Because I really want to advance my career. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I really wanted to advance my career pretty quickly. And once I joined the Accelerator program, everything started to happen. I just started to just follow everything Jay said, connected with so many people within the community, just listening to their stories. I wasn't really asking for anything, but I just wanted to understand where they are and what they're going through. And once I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn, one person was a director at Google. And basically there was a post that he put about female entrepreneurs. And I'm all for it because I have daughters and I want them to own their own business. So basically I reached out, connected with him, and he in turn asked me to start doing some website copywriting for him because that's what I do on the side. So it developed into a business opportunity, but also we're friends. And then I started connecting with this other guy who was at Cisco. And the guy wanted to put in a word for me, but he didn't really know me as a person. So we went out to eat for lunch and we talked for about 2 hours. We had a great conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he went home, I went home. And Monday morning, he went and spoke to his boss in regards for me. Within 4 days, I had 3 interviews lined up to me. The job posting never hit the company's website. And I was already interviewing with the director, the hiring manager, and somebody on their team. And it's only because he wanted to know, am I a good guy? And once he learned that, he put it in a word. By a week and a half later, about a week and a half later, they finally put the posting up. He sent it to me. I applied, but by then I already had the offer in my hand. So this community to me has definitely changed my life. and for me, it's just pouring back into it. I know I've been out of the loop a little bit because I did lose my grandfather, so it was like an emotional journey. But if you have the chance to connect with anybody in this community, just take that chance, just reach out and talk to them, because I'm telling you, they're very helpful. They're also going through struggles, but at the same time, both of you can grow.
Oh, I'm sorry to jump in, but if I can piggyback off that. What's up, Jay? What's up, my dude?
What's going on?
I don't know about any other company. I can speak for IBM. And I do a lot of the postings. I do some of the postings that I find in the job board and Mentor Mesh Slack. But they'll ask internally before they ask externally, right? So they'll ask anybody, hey, do y'all know anybody, before we bring this thing outside and open it up for the public. So being a part of a community like this, having these people, you have a bunch of companies and people connected to whoever, that being a part of this community is very beneficial for things exactly what happened to Wayne, right? I mean, but yeah, I can't speak for everybody else, but as far as IBM, they definitely will let internally know, and they'll ask if we know anybody before they do externally. So please keep your eye on that job board for those things.
Thanks, Will. That's awesome, Wayne. We appreciate letting us know about that. That's cool, man. Congratulations on that. How much money do you make? No, I'm just playing. I want to read
something more than the government.
I wanted to say something though. This is from another accelerator member who mentioned you in a comment. It's from Shivam Jainer. He said in his accelerator update, he said, also from last week, I was able to break the barrier and started sharing my thoughts, experience on LinkedIn. Feels amazing and empowered. Special thanks to Wayne Holt for pumping me up. So we appreciate you also. So when you get some wins, you move them down the line. So we appreciate that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Juliana, I see your hands up.
Hey guys, hi, hello Mentor Mesh family. I just wanted to thank Wayne for confirming it's the right thing to do to prioritize your mental health, not being afraid to take a break, and having faith in all of that, with all that brings. I'm on a similar path and dealing with the loss of family members and things like that. And you just gave me so much to smile about, and congratulations. And man, I'm already full of tears from listening to Ebony today. And I think you guys just completely bowled me over. Y'all made my week. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Am I saying your name right, Juliana? Juliana.
Oh, well, the bougie say Juliana.
Juliana, awesome. Okay.
No,
Make sure you
I'm
get it
a
right.
familiar.
You'll mess up my name, so I'll make sure you get your names right. So.
Oh, no worries. I'm a familiar name and face to some of you, and I am coming back out of my break. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody else that's joined the community. This Mentor Mesh has exploded. It's really exciting.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Thank you. So we got another win that we'd like to talk about. He's been waiting patiently. I see him over there. We got Max. What's been going on with you, Max?
Hey guys, hey Mentor Mesh community. Yeah, my similar is actually very similar to Wayne. Back in November, my company essentially went through a restructuring, and that whole process had me rethink the relationship. Fortunately, I was actually able to stay with the company, but it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So I kind of took a break, from work, and around December, I actually came across the Mentor Mesh community, and a lot of the messages resonated. I've been in tech for a while, and came from a non-traditional computer science program. So for me, it always felt like I was a bit of a self-taught developer in that regard. But yeah, so since I've joined the Mentor Mesh community, I've started interviewing, and I also met a lot of people that I've been in mock interviews with, have talked with, that really helped foster a community of support that I really liked. And it really helped me through the process of interviewing, validating a lot of the things that I went through, and having folks to talk to and have feedback to give. So that was a fun process. I started interviewing. I actually, right now, it's a very, I guess, busy time in the software engineering field. Like the recruiters are constantly messaging, and similar to Jay has mentioned, I didn't apply for any positions at this point. I just leveraged LinkedIn, talk to folks, communicate, and network. And from there, I've kind of came up with a list of the companies that I would want to work for, and essentially went through a process of kind of tearing them up and go through the recruiters that I want to talk to, and essentially from conversations, start interviewing and so on and so forth. So I've interviewed with 2 companies so far where I went through the whole process. I'm still kind of pacing myself because I'm fortunate just to have a job. So it's a little difficult to do both, and also participate in a few other activities. So yeah, so that's kind of been my journey so far. I've gotten a lot of offers, 2 offers so far. I'm kind of in the process of negotiating. Definitely want to make sure, like just say, I'm going for growth, and I want to make sure I leverage that whole process. So yeah, I haven't picked who I'm gonna go with so far, and I still have a lot of interviews that are lined up. I'm again pacing myself. I think that's one thing that I learned with this journey, is not to burn out and not to overdo it, because it's really overwhelming. Those interviews are like days long, and yeah, they're pretty draining. So yeah, that's a bit of my story so far in the community.
Can't hear you, Bronze.
Is that awesome? Thanks, Max, for sharing that with us. It's awesome to be in that position, right? You're holding the reins now too. So yeah, good for you. Congratulations. So we look forward to hearing more about it. So update us, whatever happens, and let us know. So I know we're a little bit past 4, but we still got more that are willing to speak, or if you want to speak, you raise your hand. We got I don't know if Brian Cassidy's here, but I know Amanda Fry was talking a little bit about her club. And I don't know if she wanted to say anything else more about any career wins, but Amber Falbo did too. So if any of you want to raise your hand and speak, or if anybody else does, we'll kind of get you in line and do that.
I think Amanda had to leave,
Okay.
unless I read that wrong.
Okay, I didn't see
I'm
that.
here, Bronze. I just keep jumping off of devices because I'm cooking.
No worries. Let's get you first then, okay? I had you listed here, but I didn't see you there. So if you got some wins or anything that's been going on that can be helpful to the community, we appreciate that.
Well, thanks for letting me speak. I'd hoped that there was going to be more of a win from an interview that I had on Wednesday that came from an old CIO that I worked with who kind of referred me in. But I found out today that they wanted to go with different backgrounds, or people that had more of a product management background. But it did kind of show me, because the director had a background outside of healthcare, and this was for creating VR programs in a hospital system, that the focus is still on making that transition. And one of the things that I learned after joining, I know I reached out to Jay, and this was the salesperson in me, and ask, if I see a job at a company, is it okay to reach out and ask for a referral? And Jay's comment was, it's better to get to know them first, and then as we've gone through this, to be able to offer help. And it's completely changed the way that I've looked at everything, from sales to me even reaching out to friends, and being more of that servant mindset, less of the I need something, and just realizing that kind of everything will happen when it's supposed to happen. I don't look at any of these as, I'm in sales, I deal with no's on an hourly basis. So for me, it's just part of it. I look at it as it gave me an opportunity. I met more people and had a chance to at least practice and kind of work out some of the kinks. So when it does come, I'll be ready and have the right answers, say the right things, and it'll all work out. The other thing, Bronze, as you know, we're working on that LinkedIn thing. So I do want to try to regroup with that. And there's a lot of tips and tricks out there that for those that aren't familiar with LinkedIn, that through my sales career and just noticing from the product manager side to everybody putting out job searching tips, that'll be, I think, hopefully helpful to those. But I am here to help. I work for basically a consulting services IT firm. So if you're looking for anything from engineering, designing, app dev, any of that stuff is kind of where I play. So I'm happy to help make any intros, and just excited for kind of what's next. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Brian. And I really want to double down on this really quickly. Don't take the interview process personal, ever. It's trash. It's really not good. And for every win that any of us had, we've lost, you know, and I think it's what's really important is that we can't view failing an interview as a loss. It's not a loss. It's a growth opportunity. And the fact that you're getting interviewed means it's just one or two more interviews away, maybe, right? Like it's going to happen. The important part is that you don't quit. The first time I interviewed at Expedia, I did horrible, absolutely did not get the job. I ended up getting a temp role. And not only did they offer me a full-time role later, but I created 3 different engineering organizations when I was there. I was incredibly impactful at Expedia. However, their interview process almost didn't get me. They lost me. They could have had me a year earlier, right? It had nothing to do with my ability or my potential. The process is so subjective. So never take that stuff personal. Never take it personal.
Oh, yeah.
Take it as because a lot of us, there's many people will talk about how they missed interviews. I've botched interviews at Expedia and Amazon and Google and Facebook. Absolutely, I have. Right. But I think the hardest part is, and because I'm saying this out of personal experience too, don't internalize that. Don't tell yourself that you are not qualified or it was something about you. Sometimes it's just time and chance. That's just the way it is. It's a little bit of a numbers game, and you're in sales and you kind of know this too, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll send out 5 million flyers knowing that only 2% of those are going to come back with a response.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
Building a new program, new team. So, I mean, I understood completely. And, you know, you mentioned AWS, that's what started the whole product management thing. And I'm banned for them for a year, jokingly. But I don't, you know, it got my stories together. It put me on the right path. This one kind of reignited the fact that it wasn't, I mean, I've had more sales recruiters reach out to me since I switched everything to product management, ironically. But, you know, I'm on the right path and I'll get there. It'll happen. It's just learning, like, to your point, learn, better my stories, make more connections, and just let it happen naturally.
Yeah.
You've taught me patience. So
yes, there you go.
That is a hard thing with me. So I appreciate that. And thank you.
Glad to hear it. And then Allison, you mentioned you had a similar experience. This is why I wanted to kind of double down. Like, you're going to fail interviews, but it's not a failure. You just can't internalize that. You just got to go on to the next. You got to go on to the next. And I've said this before, like in tweets and stuff, but the way you handle failure or perceived failure will determine your success. You cannot view it as failure. It is growth. And it's okay. But if you quit, then you fail. You miss every shot you don't take. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, if you're not failing, you're not growing. So we talk about that all the time. You know, I have a business now, and I failed a couple of them before I had one that was successful. So sometimes failure is the best way to learn, right? So you should be proud of yourself. I think that's the biggest thing is don't be somber about it, but be proud of yourself. You guys go through these processes. Fortunately we get to, Jay and I get to step back and see you guys' growth and see someone that goes through that, land that next thing. So we see the growth happening, and you should be proud of yourself and don't look at it negatively. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I got it this afternoon at like 5 minutes after walking in the door, and thanked them, asked what I can do better. Supposed to have a call with another VP tomorrow. Emailed her to let her know because she was skiing. So we were supposed to talk this weekend, and she said the same thing, gave me a couple pointers of places to reach out. So yeah, in no way is this a bummer. I mean, the Amazon one, maybe at first, just because you put that much work into that, I'm going to say it, dumb of a process, and you don't get feedback, so you have to fight for that. But yeah, for me, it's all good, all up from here. So
yeah, thank you. We appreciate it, Brian. And we'll be reaching out to you about the LinkedIn thing too. I got an opinion about that. So thanks for bringing that up. I got,
I'll remind you. It's my job.
I do know that. I got pinged by Linda. I don't know if you wanted to speak, but we have also, is it Khaled? Am I saying that right? Okay. You got your hand up too, but let me see if Linda wants to speak too. If I'll let you go first.
So Brian, I typed it in the chat, but I was just gonna say I got a rejection this week also, but then I feel like I also got a win too. So, what's for you is for you, right?
Everything happens for a reason. So
right. So, and I also got another note in my LinkedIn messages for something I had been waiting on. So my interview loops came through for another big tech company. So, it's just get that momentum going. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, keep going.
We're waiting to hear about that one. So I look forward to it. Yeah. All right, thanks, Linda. Khaled, what's going on?
Thank you, Bronze. So just coming also from the same background in sales, when I first tried to get into the tech industry, I was thinking sales would be the easiest way to jump to, to a tech industry for the same domain, etc. But that didn't work. But then when I decided to go for the product management, going through interviews, many rejections, I stopped looking at those rejections. This is the mainstream with me, having those rejections. I I focus only on those that I get the opportunity for interview. So another thing that you should be also careful about, Brian, like remove those distractions. Like don't look at those distractions, just put them aside. Sometimes you will have some people, they will question your ability to move to product management. And yeah, they will tell you that you have been in sales. Why not just to jump to, for example, one of the recent talks about tech sales rules, they are better than product management. You don't have the hustle with the product management and still sales, but it's technical and it's much higher salary than a product manager. So also think like today, for example, I was in a meeting thinking like, okay, should I change my resume back again to sales something? I've been doing tech sales, but in a different domain. But then I said, no, this is a route I took about, from last year, and I will not let this distract me anymore. So keep going. Also the same thing, you will find a lot of rejections. They are the main thing. It's your background, the rejections. Just keep focus only on those that you will have the potential for it. That's it.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the advice. Any advice anybody can give, we take it, no matter where we are in our journey. So we appreciate it. So we're kind of nearing the end of our town hall, but if anybody else has anything else they would like to ask for Jay, or if you have another win to share, let us know. Or you can ping us afterwards and we can share it down the line too. I don't see anybody.
I could share my little win.
Yeah.
I need to stop saying little. I just saw a post about that earlier, so don't say little about the wins. And I'll be really quick, Jay, and then you can go. Also, Jay helped me with my Twitter space. Both Jays helped me with my Twitter space. So they're just here to help you. Jay, whose hand is up, helped me with my title, which every bit of help from everybody, it matters a lot. We're all here to help you. The next event you want to have, anything you want to do. And anybody who's had an interview, those are sure as heck a win. You got through it and you did it. Interview prep, that's a win. It's a win. But and anybody who wants to know my story, please send me a coffee chat. I will send you my Calendly. I have available time because I'm looking for jobs. But my loop, I passed my interview loop with everybody's support. So I'm in the waiting room waiting for a position. It was at Microsoft. So I'm happy to talk about that with anybody as well. And it's really the coffee chats. I was able to be myself in the interview. I could just talk to them. I shared experiences I didn't plan on sharing from previous jobs, which maybe were some taboo experiences, but they loved it because I just got to share my personality and I was truly myself. And that's from these coffee chats. That's from connecting with everybody, the encouragement from everybody. And I wouldn't have gotten through it the same way. Everything I studied wasn't even exactly what I got interviewed on. It was mostly behavioral. So your story matters so much and how you tell it and having confidence in it. And I wouldn't have had that without this community. So I'm just really thankful. And yeah, I'm happy to chat with anybody. I'm in the waiting period. I have time. Thank y'all.
Yeah, Amber's been out there killing it. So, you know, she's been doing good. So yeah, that's all you too. So thank you for sharing that. Microsoft would be cool. Let us know how it goes. Yeah, that's awesome. Jay, you have something you'd like to share? The J minus the AE.
Yeah, just the letter here. Congrats, Amber. I'm so freaking proud of you. That's so awesome. I can see the passion that you emanate. And so I'm just so excited for the next phase of your journey. I just wanted to throw something out here. It's been a long week. Some of you know I've been going through some family medical situations, and that kind of bled in a little bit to my work life. I felt like maybe I wasn't able to take the reins on some things and contribute as much as I wanted to, but I actually had a performance meeting with my performance partner today, and they're actually so freaking enthused that I'm on the team. I'm actually contributing a lot, you know, and it's just been a great experience because Amber, what you're talking about, we can just show up and be yourself. I feel the same way at my current company. I just feel like I'm able to tell them where I am and where I'm looking to grow, and they just support that. And so I just want to say that it is possible to have that kind of support and commitment behind you. Part of it is this community, and part of it is me feeling comfortable reaching out to people in my company because of this community. Yeah, just put your best foot out there, learn in public. Don't be afraid to fail in public either, you know, whether that's on LinkedIn, whether that's on some social media or not, you know, but just don't be afraid to put yourself out there and let people know where you are, where you stand, and where you're looking to go. And people in this community and people outside of this community will help you as well. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the encouragement. Always use it. Appreciate it. I think it's an awesome town hall this month, so we look forward to the next one. We're always iterating, right? Trying to make it better. You guys have any thoughts or concerns or suggestions, please let us know. We're not above any of that. So, but it's been awesome talking with you guys and hearing you guys' stories. Jay, if you have anything else to say before we close out.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for spending your Friday with us. And, you know, like you guys will hear me say again and again, like, this is it. Community. I'm telling you, like, this is not about your next job. This is about growth. This is about career growth, personal growth, options, freedom. Everybody's out there like doing things by themselves, trying to get smarter because they think that that is the key to be the smartest in the room. And I'm telling you, it's not the key. Empathy is the key. Relationships are the key. Care about people. As long as people are the ones being employed, that is always going to be the key. Build relationships, care about people, help other people first. I promise you, they will help you in return. It is what will happen. You know, so, you know, it's going to be my personal mission to try to grow Mentor Mesh as much as I can. So if you have friends or people you think would benefit from this, invite them to Mentor Mesh. Invite them to the accelerator. If you've had benefit please invite them. The more people we have, the more people that are helping each other level up, the more benefit we're all going to have. And as many of you know, I'm personally trying to scale MentorMesh and a lot of the lessons that we talk about globally. And I really feel like I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm really, really excited about what's going to happen over the next few months. For those that are in the J Show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping to share something more broadly in the next couple of months. But I really think, you think about all these platforms, community, this is where it's at. And there's no platform that specializes in building community. There's only a bunch of places where you can find a bunch of people. But when you get all those people together, how do you get them together? How do you get them to support each other? I think there are ways to help people, just like through MentorMesh, like we've been doing, to naturally incentivize people to level each other up first. And you naturally will start to see you will be leveled up yourself. And by extending yourself and growing and helping other people, you will become a better leader. Period. You will see it. I can tell you personally, since I've started MentorMesh, I know that I have grown tremendously simply by just starting and doing it. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what it's meant to be, to lead or build a community. I have no idea. But that's the point. You just try it. You just do it. And you don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Redefine what failure means. If you do nothing, that's failure, right? Fall over. It's okay. Let people laugh at you. It's all right. Some people will always laugh at you even when you're winning. So don't make decisions based on that. That's something I definitely learned, is that, I had moments where I had major wins and there were people that used to snub me. I'm not kidding. I had this one guy I worked for, and I would tell him I was going to do all this stuff, and he'd look at me and be like, yeah, right, you're crazy. And then I went and I helped found a company called VentScreen, got millions in venture capital funding. I had a office on the water, downtown Seattle, glass. I looked like I was living it up, bought a brand new car, right? I invited him to my office because I wanted to show him that I was right. Like I was killing it. Man, he didn't care. He still was a hater. And then at that moment, I realized, I'm like, don't make decisions trying to prove people wrong, because they didn't believe in you to begin with. They're even when you win, they're not going to care about you, right? And I felt really silly. So I share that because it's like I had that moment where it's like, yeah, but it wasn't very fulfilling. So, anyway, whatever keeps you motivated, stay motivated. But community, I'm telling you, community is the key. When you see your colleagues win, regardless of what companies we work for, that's the thing about tech. We change a lot sometimes, right? It's a part of growth. Top companies in the world right now will not be the same top companies 10 years from now. That's fact. So if we're going to advance in our career, you will change companies, but your community can stay the same. Your support group can continue to grow, and you can continue to build relationships and support each other. If I have this big product thing I got to do, I can come to my community and say, hey, what are you folks working on? What suggestions do you have? Now I have a support team. I've got mentorship. That's what mentorship is. It's not just a one-on-one relationship with somebody that's way up there. It's us. We mentor each other. So thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate the commitment. I love seeing you folks here. I want you to know that I personally, when I see you, I'm looking for opportunities to level up all of you, especially the ones that I see that are consistent, because I know that by your dedication to the community, you care not only about lifting yourself up, but about lifting people around you up. And that matters. And I feel like there's ways for us to do that as a community. And the reality is that's the key to success. So thank you for being here for sure. That's it, Bronze.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. So yeah, everyone have a good weekend, and we look forward to your activity coming up in the MentorMesh community. Reach out to us if you have any needs or concerns. So everyone have a awesome day and an awesome weekend. And thank you again for showing up.
Hey Jay, quick question.
Yep.
I know that we were supposed to meet last week, and given everything kind of got delayed, I didn't see any updated times in our Calendly. Was just wondering if you had
sure.
some time coming up.
Yes. Why don't you ping me on Slack? You and I can just set up a time.